Hi folks, this is all the fruit and bananas nowadays. They are not an uncommon sight in my city of Heidelberg in Germany. Here you see how some little park has been decorated with them. Over there is a private person growing a big bunch in their private garden. So yeah, well, 20 years ago they were mostly restricted to botanic gardens and covered with gigantic piles of dry leaves to protect them in winter. Nowadays the gardeners will just chop off the pseudostems shortly before or shortly after the first frost, which basically kills the leaves. Here you can see at what height they chopped off the pseudostems. And here you can actually see some of the big bulbs of the banana. So yeah, nowadays they wouldn't even cover them with anything, cover the bases with anything, and they've survived. I think this bunch has survived for maybe 10 years around here. You can even see some flowers and fruit up there, although they don't ripen. But what is this one here? At first I thought it's just a different variety, then I did some research and no, actually this is something completely different. It's a banana, yes. Look at those two bananas. Well, this one is taller and has green leaves. This one is shorter and has reddish leaves. Well, this is not the biggest difference. If you look at this one, it's a big clump of bananas, a big clump of pseudostems. And I think this has been here for well over 10 years. This here is a single stem. Another single stem. Here, another big bunch. Over there in the private garden, also a big clump. Well, those are two completely different species. Well, this is Musa basjoo, the Japanese fiber banana, which comes from Japan. It is apparently being used for the fibers you can get from the pseudostems and leaf stalks. This here is the Abyssinian banana, Musa Ensete. It's often called Ensete ventricosum, so some people basically think it's a different genus, but no, it seems to be a banana just in a genus Musa, and ventricosum is just the name of the version with the reddish leaves. There are also other Ensetes here, but they are not as interesting because instead of a green Musa Ensete, you can just plant a green Musa basjoo. It will be much bigger and needs a lot less care. What care do those bananas need? Well, the highlands of East Africa, like Ethiopia, Abyssinia, where they come from, are quite cool, but they are not really that cold. So this thing cannot stand any frost. And that's one reason it's not a big clump of pseudostems. This one has been left basically alone for 10 years. I'm sure they water them and fertilize them in some years. But then in autumn they basically chop off the pseudostems, take them away, and leave the thing over the winter. The leaves can survive -2 degrees, but the base, even without any protection, can easily survive -10 degrees. This, on the contrary, can survive about +10 degrees. So even in the mildest German winters, it will be damaged. That means they have to dig it out every year and store it in some basement or other warm place. Here you can see the base of the banana, which basically produces new pups all the time. Yeah, here is even one where the base is pretty far out of the ground. Basically, you could take this thing now, you can rip it out and plant a new banana plant. And actually, that's exactly what's being done. Here is a young one which you could take out, and here is an extremely young one. Here, I've never seen pups on those here. If you look closely, it looks like, yeah, it has been planted not too long ago, just a couple months ago, and it's not that stable in the ground. Here, yeah, this one was not stable because it was quite atypical, but those here, they're stuck quite deep in the ground. So the difference is, this Musa basjoo, we are now in the middle of October, so basically during the next couple weeks, somebody will come over, cut off all those basjoo pseudostems, probably at the same height as last year, dig out those bulbs here, most probably also dig out this nice hibiscus here and store them away somewhere in a nursery. I don't know if Musa Ensete can ever produce fruit in our climate. Musa basjoo nowadays with our mild winters frequently produces fruit, and even after the harsh, well, quite harsh, minus 10 degrees I was told. Oh, here the nice lantana or thickberry with its cute berries. It will also be dig out and stored somewhere in a nursery. Well, I thought there's some Musa basjoo fruit here. Well, unfortunately they don't ripen, so no tasty German bananas. And I don't know if the Musa Ensete ever set fruit in Germany, folks. Have you ever seen a flower or even fruit on Musa Ensete in Germany? That's what they look like on Musa basjoo. Yellowish purplish flower, and yeah, the fruit in this case are quite small and puny. They can actually be a bit bigger, but they never ripen here. So folks, tell me about Musa Ensete in Germany. Have you ever seen a flower on those red bananas, or have you even seen fruit on those red bananas? Or have you seen a red banana which is being left outside in winter and maybe survived? That would be quite a miracle, but would be very interesting too. So folks, yeah, this was an additional banana grown in Germany, not with as much success as Musa basjoo, but I learned that there are also other bananas grown in Germany, so I'll try to search for more different species and varieties and hybrids. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos, some hopefully about bananas from the beautiful city of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.